I'm doing a copper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn, and a king. I dressed up today. I was bored. But, I don't know. I wasn't sure what I wanted to talk about. Thought about talking about flow. And it's another one of those things where it's hard to say anything that hasn't been said already, but I don't know. I'm a very intuitive person. Some of the I don't know if it was the best advice or not, but some good advice that I don't want to say anything's good or bad. It's always yet to be seen. But they say be a body, be a body, and I've found a lot of joy in being a body. Not in any sense where you're a slave to your senses, physical passions, anything like that, but and just in tune with your senses and appreciation of your senses, which was a lot of the in between the lines of what was in the videos that I've been making is a lot of the way up the ladder is just learning to appreciate. And I think that that's also why I don't like worship. I don't like organized religion because I think it tricks people into doing things that don't really add up. When really the best way to worship is to find joy in your life. And one of the ways that I found joy in my life is to just kind of surrender to the universe, surrender to the flow of things. Uh, People talk about flow as this great mysterious thing sometimes, but I don't know, it's really just kind of like a pace, even if it's some kind of cellular level or molecular level. I can't find the talk Alan Watts did. He went through a lot of different levels, and I meditated while I was listening to it. And I don't know, I was able to get into those different spaces, but then it's like sometimes some certain headspaces you can only get into when somebody out there, brings you into it. Yeah, I guess it's hard to explain, but flow in particular is one for me because I got into it on accident. It was just always, even when I was younger, I was very scientific minded, I would say, and but I was very interested in grace, and I'm not talking about like God's good graces or showing grace, but grace of motion, just fluidity of motion. And so a lot of it started out with that, and then, being around festivals and raves and things. Um, you see people playing with flow toys and all those other kinds of things. And I don't know, I was always very intrigued, almost hypnotized in a way, or mesmerized by it. And so I started playing around and tinkering around with a lot of these little toys that people had. I know one person said that's just a toy, but I was playing with an orbital. Orbital, it's 3 strings, I think, that you pull, and it causes a little disc in the middle to whir, and and to me that really opened up a vibrational center in me, and people thought I was goofy about it, but it was a powerful doorway for me. Um, but then I got started really getting more into flow. I watched some videos by people talking about athletic flow states where your body's doing the thinking, you're not doing the thinking, and I was working with a lot of sensory deprivation techniques, things like that, and just meditating, stillness, like, and really, like I said, tuning into the senses. And one thing that I just kind of stumbled onto was sort of light weightlessness, and it's really just a pace. You drop yourself down in pace, you feel it in all your neurons at the very least. If you feel it whole body, you just drop down in pace and you're weightless. It's almost like you're walking on air or something. And if you get into the habit of that, that state of being, from that spawns deeper sensations, and you can get to a point where basically you're walking around your entire body. Every neuron is alight with pleasure, bliss, love. And like I said, and it'll radiate. You might get goosebumps. You might feel tingles. But that energy, you can feel it radiating from your skin. If you move the seat of your consciousness to focus on your skin as if you're being your skin, being a body, and then focus inward from there, and you can feel that energetic, build up. And I, I don't know. I can't get too far into that because I don't know. It's almost like when something tickles too much. It's not exactly like that, but it's similar to that, where it's not a bad feeling, but it's too much, maybe. And so that's something you kind of got to work on. But from there you can. I don't know. I don't know if I have problems opening my heart. I feel like I'm I'm a very feel like I'm very full of love. I'm very eager to love. If anything, maybe I do have difficulties receiving love. I know that imagining, what was I getting at? Did I get off topic? Wait a minute here. How did that tie in? Oh yeah, heart spaces. Yeah, everybody, all the channels saying you need to open your heart space. You need to open your heart space. And I'm just trying to. Like I said, I'm very intuitive and abstract. So, to me, that's going to be a bodily sensation, and I don't know if I'm in it or not. I've been working on it a little bit and had people out there that were able to bring me into that space externally, or maybe not. I'm not sure, but like just for no reason, sitting still and my heart starts beating like a mile a minute. I don't know if that's my heart space opening or what. From there, you can get like fuzzies on top of your head, like the energy, and a lot of it for me is just it. Like I was saying in an earlier video, giving it to the universe. When there's negative feelings and that all that pops up, you just let it radiate off of your back. You surrender that to the universe. It's not yours. And that was kind of really where I was at when I started all this. But really, the main point is just that that flow state, because that flow state is just it's a doorway out of suffering. You do that, like I said, be a body means like being very in tune to your muscles, your bone structure, how everything's moving, and being very attuned to grace, fluidity of motion, and be playful about like what you're doing. And everything is just purely sensually pleasurable, Uh, if you're in that headspace, you can get thrown out of that headspace, and then you might have a bad day. But for me, it's like if I'm if I've got to walk, I'm walking light. I might even like see how far I can balance on the railroad tracks. Or from weed eating, it's all about that sweeping too. It's all about the what I'm saying, the fluidity of motion, and drop your pace down so that you feel lighter, and the weight that you're dealing with will be easier. It won't feel like you're doing all these heavy, horrible things. And I don't know, like doing garbage bags. And a lot of it is literally just about playing with force and momentum and trajectory and how to swap things out. Uh, but I don't know, a lot of people I don't know, I feel like a lot of people are suffering in terms of like day to day jobs when you could be having a much better time than you really are. A lot of my problems at work, I don't really have too many right now. But when I do have problems at places I've worked at, usually it comes down to um, and it maybe interpersonal things. I don't know. Like I know in the area I'm at now, like there's a culture of disrespect. They bond with each other by being mean and tearing each other down, and I just don't have that at all. I don't like it. I mean, I could probably do it by accident, but they're doing it directly on purpose, and I don't know, for fun. I don't like it. But that a lot of my jobs, that's really the main concern. I understand, you've got time, especially if you're wanting to do, you've got this project you want to do, you've got that project you want to do, and you've got to make time, you've got to conserve your willpower, you've got to do this, do that, the other. But when it comes to just purely if you're at the bottom of the pile and you just need to keep your job and make money and you're struggling, just work with flow. See where it takes you. Like people talk about flow like it's the whole river, but really it's more about the way you're directing yourself within the stream. But and I don't know. I guess that's really all I got to say. I hope you like my hat. I like my hat. But all right, that's all for now. Bye.